Hi everyone, in today's video I'm heading into downtown Gatlinburg where there is lots to do and even more to eat and drink, so without further ado, let's just hop into it. For anyone who hasn't visited the area before, around Halloween time is primo time to visit, but again, that's going to mean tons of crowds just as an FYI. But during this time, not only is there different festivities going around and the whole town is decorated with pumpkins and autumn decorations, but the leaves are changing color, so it's optimal scenic views during this time as well. This time we ended up doing more of the food and drinks part of Gatlinburg, where 2 years ago we came here, and I'll have a story time about that during this video. We did do one of the chairlifts with a different company other than Anakiesta. I think that's how it's pronounced. You'll see it right there. That one is a big one. People, I mean, you could see the line. You see how many people are waiting to go up there? But yeah, basically you take their chairlift and go up into the mountains, and then I think they have a restaurant up there. They have a bunch of stuff to do, and there's a different chairlift. I'll put the company's name on the video. You can take that one up, and they have a sky bridge where it's like glass on the bottom and stuff. So the first place we decided to go to is Old Red, which I believe is Blake Shelton's bar, and they have live music all day, so it's definitely a fun spot to stop by. To drink, I decided to get their Black Horse Vanilla Cream Ale. It is a super light beer, I think somewhere between 4 to 5% alcohol, and you could hand this to me and I would think it was a cream soda. That's how good it was, and that's how light it was. And to go with this, we ended up ordering some chicken wings. Typically when we get chicken wings, we like to mix a buffalo hot with like a garlic parm. However, they don't mix it here, so we ended up just getting the sauces on the side. Overall, I enjoyed the chicken wings and I would recommend it to other people. They weren't dry, the sauces were good, so yeah, no complaints. And previously when we had come here, they had Spam tacos on the menu, so we were trying to get that, but they took them off for some reason. Unless I'm crazy, unless I've lost my mind. I'll go back and try and find an old menu photo, but those used to be so good. So now with some food in my belly and some live music listened to, we headed over to Margaritaville because this is where we stayed at 2 years ago. And during this time, they had a Halloween pumpkin contest and they had 2 birds to visit. So we wanted to see if they had any of that stuff going on. So unfortunately, no pumpkin decorating contest, but we did get to see one little bird guy. He was kind of doing his own thing. And after hanging out with Holly the bird for a little bit, we decided to go out to Margaritaville's outdoor area and just hang out by their fireplace. So next up, we're going to visit this old-timey candy and chocolate store. They do gourmet chocolates. You can actually go and watch them make chocolates in the window from outside or inside the store. Sometimes if you're lucky, they'll actually have one of their staff members standing outside and giving you pieces of saltwater taffy as you enter and as you leave the store, but not this time around. As a heads up though, this place is pretty expensive. I ended up getting a coconut chocolate patty, which was recommended by one of the staff members. I think that alone was like $3. I mean, it was a big size of a chocolate. It's just, to me, I'm like, holy moly, $3. Back in my day, this cost a nickel. One thing though that I really like about this store is I'm going to say like 90% of their staff is all retired. So maybe grandma, grandpa, they move at their pace. They're not in a rush, they're just kind of hanging out. But I like it because, they'll stop and talk to you. They want to know how your day is. And look at them go. How cute is that? They're doing such a good job. The employee that helped us was the one to the right, and he is the one who recommended the coconut patty, which did not disappoint. So I did get coconut haystacks, which is what I initially ordered before he recommended the coconut patty. And that's usually like my safe go-to because you can't go wrong with coconut and chocolate. It's just so good together. And the best way I can describe the coconut patty is kind of like, oh my god, a York peppermint patty? Is that what? Yeah, that's what those things are called. I don't like those because I'm not really a mint person. However, this kind of had the same consistency, texture, everything about it with none of the mint, all of the coconut. So I was thoroughly happy. I would gladly eat more of those. From here, we just kind of walked around the town a bit more, checked out some more of those shops. Every time we eat, we kind of just try and walk it off after so it doesn't just feel like a brick in our stomach. And then from here, we decided to check out Jason Aldean's Kitchen and Rooftop Bar because we figured it would have live music too, just like Blake Shelton's bar. However, when we went, there was not live music, so it's not an all-day thing. So instead, we went up top to the roof. I got a Truly's and we just people watched. I mean, look at the views that you got over here. Now, I'm going to jump into that story time about that chairlift company. So I love heights when it comes to that. I don't like airplanes, I don't like roller coasters, but I just like heights because I love scenic views. My boyfriend, on the other hand, complete opposite. Likes roller coasters, is okay with planes, hates heights. Somehow I talked him to go up there with me, and I guess I didn't realize his fear was as severe as it was. But needless to say, when we got up there, I was able to kind of walk around, enjoy myself, yada yada. While I did this, he just sat down in the main seating area. And when it came time for us to go back down, he was just frozen, like fear frozen, could not go back down. I had to ask one of the employees if there was some way we could walk down. To which the employee said yes, but they don't recommend it. It's the way they drive up when they get to work. Needless to say, we had to walk down all these back paths and windy, steep roads. We did it. We made it. It was an experience. But to this day, I still want to go up Anakista. I don't know, whatever you pronounce that one. We didn't do it on this trip, but we made a deal that if next time, rather than staying in a cabin, which is what I love, we'll stay in Margaritaville because it's downtown Gatlinburg, so it's convenient. That's what he likes. He can hang out at the room and I'll go up the other chairlift so I can see what that one's about. All right, and now back to the current video. We did stop at, I think it's called Pepper Palace. Anywhere you go, whether it's Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, they always tend to have the same shop. So candy store, hot sauce place, beef jerky place, it's all repetitive no matter what town you go into, but it doesn't make it any less fun. We did end up getting this apple infused hot sauce. It was so good. And they let us try this napalm horseradish in a jar. It was extreme to say the least. If any of you have had horseradish, you know how it clears your sinuses. I had maybe a pinky nail size amount of horseradish in a spoon that I tried, and my whole sinuses felt like my brain was on fire, but it's just like a flash fryer and then it goes away. It tasted so good though. I definitely would have gotten that even at $16 a jar, which is really expensive for horseradish in my opinion. However, it has to stay refrigerated, so with a 4-hour, 3-hour, 5-hour with layover flight back down to Florida, I'm not messing around with that. They do have an online store, so I'll put the link here and in the description below. I think shipping's like $10 unless you spend, whether it's $60 or $65, whatever the shop minimum is. For any of you watching this, have you ever seen a wild bear? Because that was my main goal. It's always my goal. If I ever come to outdoorsy places, I just want to see a bear. I just want to see one. Not in a zoo, but just in the wild doing bear things. I don't know why. I just want to see one. Let's fast forward to dinner time. We had reservations at the Greenbrier restaurant, which is a pretty fancy restaurant on the outskirts of Gatlinburg. So it's not downtown, you do have to drive to it, and you have to drive up this windy, almost like one road hill. One thing that's really cool about this restaurant is they do craft cocktails, which I don't really ever get to enjoy those, and I was so planning on having one here, but I had already enjoyed several drinks throughout the day, so I was kind of tapped out at this point and I opted just for water. So to start you off, they give you cornbread, and it has kind of like an eggy topping to it, like creme brulee, but without the hard shell. Does that make sense? It was delicious, melt in your mouth. I could eat the whole thing of it, 10 out of 10. For an appetizer, we did this ribs and pork belly dish. It wasn't my favorite, if I'm being honest. It was kind of tough and a bit on the salty side. And all entrees come with a super salad, so I opted in for their tomato and goat cheese soup. This was good. So this and the cornbread, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. It was so nice, so creamy, so flavorful. Now, can anyone guess what this entree is? Because it's not how I envisioned it. If you guessed chicken marsala, yeah, that's what this is. This is chicken marsala. In my head, when I ordered it, I pictured, I guess, the Italian way that they make it, not like a half thing of chicken with a bone hanging out, and I don't know. It was just okay, and that's mediocre at best, and that's me being nice. I didn't really like it. And this is that really windy road in the dark that you have to take back down. Low-key, I was really hoping to see a bear. We even walked by the restaurant's dumpster and hoping there would be a bear back there, but there wasn't. Where are all the bears at? And with that, we made our way back to the cabin and called it a night. Another day done, and tomorrow we hang out in Pigeon Forge. Alright guys, as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye friends!